Home and Wealth, sponsored by Rodney Anderson with Supreme Lending.
If you're thinking about buying a vacation home, an investment property, or you're in the market to sell, we may have information that you will need. Mortgage expert Rodney Anderson is joining us with some answers. Good morning.
Good morning, Shannon.
Okay, so we are going to talk about a number of things. And Keitha, she's in Frisco, and she has a question for you. She says that my husband and I found a vacation property at the lake this past weekend. What is the minimum down payment on a $400,000 home?
Who doesn't love vacations?
Oh,
right?
I am a vacation queen if I could do it all day.
Yeah, and these are the times where people go, they visit family, they visit friends, or they go on vacation. They say, I'd like a home in this area.
Yes.
And so we see a lot of pickup during vacation homes during this type of year. Maybe it's whether you're going to the lake, the beach, or the mountains.
Right.
And we don't have a whole lot of mountains here locally, but in the state of Colorado, we're doing a lot of loans up there as well. Yeah. And so the minimum down payment on a second home is a 10% down payment.
Oh.
So if you're buying a $400,000 home, your minimum down payment will be $40,000. Now, there is a difference between a second home or vacation home and an investment property. We see a lot of people right now that are buying second homes, using them for a month or two, but when they're not there, they're renting them out through an Airbnb, a VRBO, something like that. And so we're seeing a huge pickup. We have them all over the places: Cedar Creek Lake, Lake Texoma, Port Aransas, all over the country. We see a lot of people buying vacation homes during this time of year.
One other thing that you mentioned was investment property, and that's what our next question is all about. This person says, I'm in the market for a $350,000 investment property. Why are the interest rates higher on investment properties? And that's coming from Andrea in Denton.
Well, let's first talk about investment properties.
Okay.
Minimum down payment of 20%, sometimes 25%. Why? Why do we have so much higher rates on these?
Right.
It's because people don't leave their properties in tip-top shape. And when you get into financial difficulties, you keep your primary residence first because that's where you have to live it. Then you give up sometimes your vacation homes. And then third of all, you will give up investment properties. And let's face it, when you are renting to people, they normally just don't leave the keys in the door and lock it all up and clean all the carpets. A lot of times these places are not desirable sometimes where there's been some damage done. So you have to make sure during the investment properties, how much of a down payment will you need, but what is the interest rate? Because interest rates can be anywhere from 0.5% to 1% higher, just because of more risk, Shannon, to the lenders, to the investors. But just know before you go out and find a house, should it be classified as a primary, a vacation home, or investment property?
Really, really good to know. One more question is coming from Roy City. This is Will, and Will is saying, we want to look at houses and we are being told we have to sell our home first. Now, what's the protocol for this?
Well, here's what happens. A lot of people go out and find a home, they find the dream home, and then all of a sudden they find out that they have to qualify for both homes. Their primary that they want to buy and the current one they have. So this becomes what's called a contingency offer. And most of the time in today's market, since it's so hot, sellers will not accept contingency offers because there are 3 or 4 other offers that are in front of it. And so you have to make sure before you even go out looking for a home, know how much money you're going to need down, know how much money you're going to need all together, and can you afford both homes? Because one of the things that I see happen in Shannon right now, very few people can afford both homes and can qualify for both homes. So we got to make sure that you're putting yourself in a perfect situation, because the last thing I'd want to do, go out, show my wife this beautiful home, all of a sudden to say, baby, we can't buy that home.
You can't do this. That would be bad. So you got to give Rodney a call. He's got the answers to many of your questions. All you got to do is go to rodneyanderson.com. You can also call 1-800-EXPRESS for more information.